Should Devin Haney take the rematch? What does the film say? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Devin Haney's fight IQ in the fight against Ryan Garcia, how he fought him. We're not going to be taking a look at all the knockdowns and stuff. Most of that just came from Ryan Garcia flooding the line. But we're going to be taking a look at what it is that Devin Haney learned throughout the course of the fight, what might be able to help him in the second fight. And that's if he can avoid just getting knocked down. Okay, now one of the judges had a draw for him, which was very surprising, very, very surprising. But that means that according to that judge, if he won one more round, he would win the fight. Okay, so small edges, and we're going to be talking about some of the ways that Devin Haney fought Ryan Garcia. Now, number one, his best attribute was timing and being able to be so fast and so quick and explosive that when Ryan Garcia wasn't actively going first, right, fighting off of that pressure style that Derek James has them on doing on the mitts, where it's beat, 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 and then fighting off of those rhythms, when he was kind of try to box with Devin Haney instead of just put pressure on him, Devin Haney would often get control of the line and beat him to a position. All right, as we see Ryan Garcia move to the back foot here, and now he's going to be taking a small step toward his front foot. And as he's bringing his weight toward the front foot, Devin Haney's trying to alienate him from that position. Right, and this is one of the reasons why Ryan Garcia spent so much time, right? We're going to see circling and moving around, because when he would get flat on the line with Devin Haney could kind of explode into one of those shots. Now watch Ryan Garcia as he brings his weight forward to the line here, and again, as he brings his weight forward, back foot, front foot, Devin Haney's looking to attack him. Now we can see it's too fast here. It's too explosive. The timing is too difficult here for Ryan Garcia to parry. We see that he tried. We do see that he still has his guard up. He was aware of the line. But Devin Haney is super fast, lightning fast. And one of the things that he does when he does this is he always steps with this motion. Just watch him kind of lunge in here, boom, and you can see him jump. Now, this is a very, very, very important idea. Okay, it's very, very, very important, because a lot of people are going to think, and every single person who continues to move on and fight Devin Haney is going to think that he has a little bit of power. No. He's jumping and throwing this his absolute fastest, using a ton of energy, right? Even though it's a quick, sharp, it's a lot of effort to still throw this shot here. Okay, it's not easy to do that. And because he exerts so much energy, all that energy is going right into Ryan Garcia's face. When he puts him in this position, Ryan Garcia, all he's thinking is like, damn, that was fast. It was smooth. It was almost effortless. Okay, but he can't really tell all the time that Devin Haney is not in a position to fight. He's jumping and lunging with this jab. And even if you take it, right, if you watch some early Yuriorkis Gamboa, that dude was short. Everyone had a reach advantage against him. So sometimes he would just eat somebody's jab to hook him in the face. Now, Ryan Garcia did do that in this fight and hurt Devin Haney in the first round, but I don't think that he enjoyed eating that hard jab there. I think that he recognized that that was still a tough punch for him to take, even though he wound up coming out ahead. And I think now, and again, we're going to take a lot of looks at this. We're going to go super deep dive on this film study here. But Devin Haney's not really in a position to follow up on his attacks on the line. And this is a really, really, really important idea to understand when you have guys that are so fast and so explosive, and you think, well, man, if every time we just get on the line, I could just go, and I'm just going to, I'm just going to just move and catch the guy, and you're just not expecting it in that moment, in that beat, But the thing is he sacrifices so much of his structure to be that fast, to close distance and make a strike all at the same time, because it's all based off of timing, right? To create an advantage later, right? But Devin Haney continues to fight with that style. Now, as Ryan Garcia gets to the front foot here, right? He was coming forward with that kind of get to the front foot, probe with the lead hand, and then kind of pendulum and throw a hook thing. And that was one of those things that he did throughout the fight. But as he pendulums here, and then his weight is going to kind of move to the front foot, Devin Haney's expecting a jab or expecting a control, and he kind of moves to the front foot and kind of throws this little hook here. And this was really, really early in the fight as well. It kind of catches Ryan Garcia. And again, he can't really tell. Ryan Garcia is not able to tell, boom, with his head down and his eyes looking at the ground, and he's you know, that Devin Haney is vulnerable here, that he just jumped and he just did, this is what he needs a trainer for, a coach, someone on the outside who understands, oh, Devin Haney's not in position to fight from this position here, right? Now, makes it to the front foot. And Ryan Garcia, as we take a look at Ryan Garcia's guard and we take a look at the stuff that, later on in the film study, what position he's trying to get to, his predictable positions, um, we're going to notice a lot. Okay, a lot of stuff. But Ryan Garcia is really going to try to get his rear shoulder forward. Okay, Devin Haney usually does this pretty decently, and kind of hides. As you can see, his rear shoulder is forward, and when he explodes into this jab, his rear shoulder kind of pulls back, right? And it kind of straightens out. And this allows him to kind of lunge or explode into this shot. You're always going to do this, even if you can hide it a little bit, and you can hide it pretty well. Some of that is always going to be a function of having a good strike, a powerful punch. But Ryan Garcia is trying to get into a similar position. He's going to try to get to a position here, guard the line with the left shoulder, and then he's going to try to get into a position where he's square so he can throw the hook. But Devin Haney is kind of disrupting that, right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the positions and we look at a little bit more of the more obvious / less obvious stuff, right? Now, coming forward, stepping jab, right? Exploding as Ryan Garcia gets on the front foot. But look at his structure here, right? Look at is he planted? Could he throw a right hand after? Not every one of these moves that he has is good for that. Okay. Now, again, we're going to be looking for small edges and places that Devin Haney can make small adjustments, right? One of the small adjustments that he did on his own here is he was kind of getting countered in a little bit of danger, jabbing to the head, right? Now, Ryan Garcia here, we take a look at his lead hand here. He looks kind of guarding the line with it, right? Kind of expecting something here. But Devin Haney kind of threw this jab at the body, and when he would throw the jabs at the body, it was much more difficult at this kind of, you know, Ryan Garcia standing straight up kind of thing for him to really interact with that hook. And we're going to take a look at a lot of examples for that stuff. Okay, but here we got him coming forward. One of the biggest problems that Devin Haney had is he also struggled to cut the ring off against Ryan Garcia. Now, again, when we take a look at one of the things that Devin Haney does consistently, always stepping with every punch, okay, one of the things that he has to do, he kind of also steps with his chew as well. And we're going to see some examples of that where he'll kind of pendulum, right? He'll bring his weight to the back foot just a little bit so that he can take a step with the left leg and then throw the right hand. But it's really slow and telegraphed, and sometimes this, sometimes that, blah, blah, blah. But because he has all these very, very, very improper and poor footwork patterns, it makes it very difficult for him to chase somebody down. And again, this is something I talked about in the pre-fight build-up. I talked about it. I even predicted that Devin Haney was going to catch and hurt Ryan Garcia, but he was not going to be able to finish him. That no matter what, even though, and we're going to talk about it when we get to those positions where Ryan Garcia literally turns his back. Okay. um, but as he's circling, right, and some good examples of this are Teofimo Lopez, right? Teofimo Lopez does a really good job of cutting the ring off and throwing some punches. Another guy is, who's that guy? Canelo Alvarez, where he'll jump on the line and then just bash you with the right hand over the top. And we're going to see Devin Haney do some of that stuff. But as we can see Ryan Garcia circling here, there's no punishment here for crossing Devin Haney's line. He circled out on to the left side, and Devin Haney didn't cut him off there, right? Devin Haney kind of struggles because he most of the time looks to try to wait for you to get on the line, right? And then try to just explode and be faster. That's where Devin Haney really, really, really excels. But he has a very, very difficult time cutting you off, right? And getting you to throw in position to throw a power punch. Now, Ryan Garcia getting to the front foot, back foot, getting to the front foot. And again, Devin Haney trying not to let Ryan Garcia really get planted. Okay. Again, one of the reasons why Ryan Garcia had so much circling, right? So much moving around his opponent, and not getting on the line, not fighting with Devin Haney. Again, one of the times that, or the only times that Ryan Garcia would really have good boxing or good patterns or good sequences is when he was being aggressive and he was kind of fighting forward. Derek James was saying, get back to your jab. And he was telling him, kind of get control, get putting pressure on the line. But um, the part that Derek James is not understanding because he's not a puncher, right? He was never a puncher. He could never throw a punch like Ryan Garcia. He never has. He could learn it. If you guys want to learn, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. I'll teach you exactly what it is that Ryan Garcia does to throw his punches so fast and to build power. But I'll also teach you how to generate the most amount of power that you can. Okay, Ryan Garcia is still missing some techniques. That's why every punch is not the hardest punch. They're all fast because of the technique. Um, but also teach you how to make them all be hard as well. Um, and by virtue of knowing what you're supposed to be doing and not just learning it on accident like Ryan Garcia, you'll be able to rapidly improve. It won't be a skill that you have to learn your whole life to get good at and learn. If you're already strong and fit, you'll be able to learn the technique and get really good and fast and strong with it in just a few months. But it is the kind of stuff you got to work at, but it's lifelong skill. Okay, the root of all punching power. Okay, I'm the first coach in the history of combat sports to be able to understand how punching power works and to be able to teach it to absolutely every single person on the planet, male or female. Teach you how to throw your absolute best punch and still improve the power on that punch as well. And not just a little bit, a lot with both hands. Okay, check out the Fouts Boxing testimonials if you're interested at all. There's testimonials on my page, people talking about the power, people talking about the growth. You can check out the reviews in the Vimeo. People talk about it. Again, um, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Back to the film study. So, circling, moving around. Um, and it takes a lot of energy for Ryan Garcia to come forward and be putting pressure on. And Ryan Garcia doesn't really know how to control space if he doesn't want to punch or make an attack. Right now, pushes him, feints him, right, gets him into this position here. Now, when Ryan Garcia, okay, we're going to take a look at this. When Ryan Garcia actually wants to counter you, he's going to get really square and bring his rear shoulder to the line really close. Okay, when he's guarding the line with the left shoulder here, he's not really always looking to attack with the left hand here. And Devin Haney kind of starts picking up on a little bit of this as he kind of checks the line, right? Now, one problem that Devin Haney had early, right, and he still hasn't really started feinting too much, but he didn't really feint. He just tried to be fast and be faster than Ryan, and that allowed him to punch with Ryan. And the thing is Ryan Garcia has a very, very difficult time getting into position to punch. It's the whole reason why Derek James is a good coach for him, because so much of that mid style is just getting on the line, being prepared to interact with your opponent. And it's one of those things that once Ryan Garcia kind of gets away from it, once he starts doing his own thing, we can see it here. All of his offense goes away. He has no counter punches. He has no this. But I think it's mostly because he needs to save energy, right? Ryan Garcia doesn't really know how to fight in Derek James's style and conserve energy at all, right? Now, when you think about Derek James's style and you think about somebody like Errol Spence, highly conditioned, right? He always trains the patterns. If you watch him, Errol Spence, every time he gets to the line, beat, beat, beat. But if you watch Ryan Garcia when he's training his heavy bag work, when he's training his other stuff, he doesn't train the mitt style that Derek James has in his shadow boxing. He doesn't practice it in his heavy bag work, and it stops him from really being able to learn how to grow. And you know, it's actually like way more complicated than that, but that's the simplest way to say it. But there's a lot of other stuff. Anyway, blah 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 blah. I think that Haney started to recognize that the shoulder wasn't forward. Ryan Garcia wasn't prepared or interested in throwing his left hook because it takes a lot of energy. It's dangerous, yada, yada, yada. But he's able to push him to this back foot here. And now, this is a really interesting thing because he's on the back foot. This is the position normally if you're a beginner and somebody's in the gym and, they're going to kind of style on you because it's your first time in the gym. They're just going to beat the crap out of you. They're just going to go, 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, 2, right? And they just kind of rain them down. And if you're in this position, you can't see the line. You don't even see the right hands coming, right? Even if you block them, the left hands are sneaking through. You just kind of wind up getting peppered with bullshit. Even if the guy's like standing there looking around at his coach, looking at tap, 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 he's not even looking at you. But this is the position that beginners wind up getting embarrassed in. And this is how bad Devin Haney's technique is that he couldn't take advantage of someone who's showing the most obvious signs of submission, right? He has no control over the line, none of this. Maybe this is his ultimate rope-a-dope. We're going to see some times where he kind of comes out of this position and explodes and does actually hit Haney. But because of the fact that Devin Haney always has to step with all of his punches, in spite of the fact that Ryan Garcia is stuck in this position for, what feels like hours. If you're a fighter, you're just like, oh my God, it's so juicy, right? You could hit him anywhere. He can't block anything. Like, terrible position, right? And we all know if we've ever sparred or been outmatched, this is the first thing that somebody does when they don't know what to do. Or they're the guy that puts their head in their chest and ducks down. Devin Haney does that a little bit. Puts his head on the chest, the forehead on the chest, or the top of the head on the guy's chest with his face pointed to the ground, right? And that's like a quote unquote safe place if you've got your earmuffs on. But Devin Haney struggles to chain stuff and take advantage of that. Why does, while he's in the corner, Devin Haney wind up under? Why did he wind up in this position? He has Ryan Garcia entering the line from the back half of his line, guarding only with the shoulder, only able to attack with the left hand. If he makes an attack, he can't guard his head with the left hand, which means that if a jab comes, all he has to do is throw a right hand over the top. He has him perfectly in this terrible position, off the line. He's about to bounce back. This is a knockout, right? This is one of the absolute worst positions you can be in. But again, Devin Haney cannot really chain his punches together. He has a very, very difficult time maintaining control of the line because of his footwork. Now, at the start of the next round, he's going to jab and watch him pendulum into this right hand, throws this right hand, and look at him kind of get stuck in this guard. Very, very, very dangerous beats, very, very dangerous moves from him. But again, Ryan Garcia tries to get to the front foot, and he's super quick. Pushes him off the front foot, pendulums onto his line. And interestingly, Ryan Garcia not always countering, right? Again, a lot of the way that Ryan Garcia fought, I don't want to say Ryan got lucky, right? Because here's the thing. I predicted that Ryan Garcia was going to knock Devin Haney out. That was my prediction. There's just an inevitability that Ryan Garcia would get, at the very least, try to box with Devin Haney for a while, get beat up, and then just say, okay, screw this, and then just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then I thought that he would knock Haney out, just trying to use enough energy, just throwing punches at the line, because Devin Haney doesn't really move his head, right? He doesn't really have any of that stuff. But anyway, um, most of the actual combat actually does feel like Devin Haney kind of the boxing. Devin Haney kind of beat him. Now this is a really good sequence here, right? One of the few times where Ryan Garcia is coming forward and he goes front foot, boom, and he comes forward with this little probe. Now, Ryan Garcia throws this as a kind of a probe, but he doesn't understand how to probe with it. He kind of sticks it out, but he might as well have thrown it as a punch because he can't really fight off of this style, this movement. He just kind of wanted to check the line on that beat, and stick his hand out. But he's not really able to fight off of this, right? So I don't call this a probe. I call this a feint. He's feinting. A probe you can fight off if you get a reaction, this kind of reaction, especially the kind of reaction that, like, this is the kind of reaction that you want, where you stick a jab out, you probe, and then the guy's like, oh, I'm going to stepping jab into your line. Like, this is what you dream of when you're probing, that your opponent is going to step into your line to counter your jab, right? This is the exact same thing that happened with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev when he dropped him, I think in the second round. But he probed with the right hand, and then Andre Ward tried to counter, and he threw a right hand over the top, smack. That's exactly what you want to happen. But Ryan Garcia, not really a prober. Now, it's really interesting. Again, we're going to take this information. It's really important later, for later on in the fight. But he started to fight off of Ryan Garcia's probes because Ryan Garcia kind of would get into a little bit of a rhythm. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of that rhythm coming forward, but faint, right? gets down again, front foot, and then Ryan Garcia front foot pushes him back, front foot, back foot, front foot. Now, very, very interesting because again, look at how square his shoulders are. Look at the high guard that he has. Ryan Garcia is trying to get really square here, and then when the jab comes, that's when he throws his hook. Boom, pushes Devin Haney off the line. Now Ryan Garcia again tries to get very similar position. Devin Haney throws the hook, the jab, gets him, and look at him pulling away from the hook already. He's already reminded that it's coming. But again, this sequence is so important because again, it kind of shows how much faster Devin Haney is at getting planted. Boom. Ooh, very close. And getting off the line. Again, that massive discrepancy why Ryan Garcia had to move and run and, do all that stuff. And again, I don't think Ryan Garcia landed the first punch in each of his sequences very often. I think it was often the second punch, like if he would throw one, right? We're going to see some of that. I do have a very, very, very good example of Ryan Garcia setting up all his punches. Now, again, Ryan Garcia coming forward, penduluming forward, his weight as soon as it hits the tip of the line, right? Devin Haney is aware of it. He knows exactly where the line is. We can see this glove here probing at Devin Haney, and Devin Haney slips down up into this little leaping hook thing. And now again, this is really interesting too because this is one of those moves, right? That Devin Haney is actually going to wind up getting Ryan Garcia with, and it's kind of good, right? Now coming forward, normally, as Ryan Garcia makes it to the front foot, back foot, front foot, he's met with only a jab. In this one, he actually throws a 1-2, so adding a little bit of a layer to it. And again, trying to stop Ryan Garcia from getting into his rhythm with the lead hand, right? Because again, sometimes he's going to jab multiple times before he pendulums or before he hooks. And a lot of times, um, the lead hook from Ryan Garcia wasn't really there, right? We're going to talk about that maybe a little bit later. Now, Ryan Garcia trying to get into his rhythm, jab, jab. Devin Haney kind of coming under, right? Not a real defense there. Boom, catching him with the 1-2. Now, as he's coming forward, again, Devin Haney's reading that rhythm, right? Reading it, kind of trying to get ready. He's going to come forward and he sees that motion, right? Trying to get to the front foot. One, he threw the 2 last time. He still gets him with the 2 here, but Ryan Garcia smacks him with the right hand here. And this right hand or this hook, right? Off the right hand. This is one of the moves that I predicted that Devin Haney was going to struggle landing the 2 because of the counter hook here. And it's interesting because this is again is off of Ryan Garcia trying to come forward, right? It's off of his forward momentum, something that he practiced with the mitts with Derek James, but it's not as obscure as him like actually doing it on defense or even like kind of being in that more square position where he's planted because he's trying to come forward, right? But he does still get smacked, and we can see that if we remember the fight, Devin Haney didn't use this strategy the whole fight long, right? Um, he mostly abandoned that kind of stuff, um, you know, in favor of a safer jab. Now, again, Ryan Garcia trying to come forward off that little probing thing. Devin Haney kind of slipping, penduluming here. And then again, so fast. Realizing that he can kind of fight when Ryan Garcia sticks his rear hand out there. Also, a very, very, very big thing for him to learn and to figure out is that Ryan Garcia is kind of useless at that point. He's already basically done the move, right? And he hasn't brought it back. He doesn't have the rear hand, the rear shoulder cocked so he can throw that shoulder. Um, yeah, and I think he did kind of figure out some stuff. Now, this is very likely the second best punch that Devin Haney lands in the whole fight. Like a little right hand over the top. And again, if you look at the guard, um, this is exactly how Ryan Garcia kind of practiced blocking punches with Derek James, right? He's trying to catch it on the forearm. He's pulling his arm away from his head, but the punch is going to his fucking head. It's not going to his fucking forearm. Like, how fucking dumb, right? Like, what a bad drill. Just unbelievable. But I just wanted to point that out, put that in there. Devin Haney, even though Ryan Garcia had literally the worst drill that he could practice to block the right hand, because Ryan Garcia is fast and he's tall, it's hard to catch him clean with a shot like this, even if his all of his defense is bad for it. Um, but yeah, anyway, jab gets under. Now, jab, Ryan Garcia is trying to come forward, probe. Devin Haney slips it, and I think Ryan Garcia was expecting a jab to the body, and this is when he hurts him. Again, he was trying to fight around that lead hand control because Ryan Garcia is going to try to start controlling him, get his jab, pendulum on him, right? And he's trying to time it like this and go around it. Does a really, really, really good job of catching him with that shot. So, if we're talking adjustments, why does Devin Haney abandon that move? It's pretty damn successful, right? Well, we're going to see. Jab, he's trying to get into range. Now, one of those times where Ryan Garcia just blitzes, shoots the first jab, right? Which again moves him right into this shot and catches him. This is the move that he hurt Devin Haney so many times with. Okay, so many times, jab, pendulum, hook right off of that control. And again, if it's a double jab, right? You see him try to parry it. If it's a double jab, then he'll be fine, right? Parrying it. But you really got to predict that second beat, you know, perfectly. I'll say, or get off the line, shit, or get off the pot, something. Now, this is really interesting because most of the time when Ryan Garcia is trying to counter, he's in the high guard, right? And this position, you're like, look at him, Philly shell bullshit. Okay, cool, nice. Um, but we can see that his left hand is not up. It's not guarding the line. It's not in front of him. It's at his waist here for whatever reason it's here. Um, he's not going to throw a left hook from this position ever. He he could throw some left hand stuff, but literally he will not guard the line from here. And I think Devin Haney figured out real early that he could kind of get away with doing whatever he wanted when Ryan Garcia would be in this Philly shell, because he was only going to kind of abandon his position or kind of duck. Now, here's the lead hand. He slips to the front foot. He's trying to check here to see if that left hook is going to come because he got caught with it before. So slipping to the front foot here. Again, that lead hand comes out, and now it's really important. Catches him. Here's the first control of the lead hand. Slips it. Boom. Catches Ryan Garcia with another left hook. Okay. Now, here's the lead hand. Lead hand is out. The likelihood that Ryan Garcia is going to throw a left hook to control the line here, I think pretty high. Devin Haney throws a jab to the body instead. Okay. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, Ryan Garcia abandons his position. He says, okay, you got me. He's trying to get that rear shoulder forward. The lead hand is out. He feints him. Devin Haney, again, starting to use the feints, right? Starting to use some adjustments. And again, all of this is so that he doesn't get caught with that left hook at the same time he jabs, right? The same thing that happened to him at the first start of the fight, right? Now, again, pushing Ryan Garcia around. Now, Ryan Garcia is penduluming and moving and circling. Devin Haney's not getting any value here, right? All the time that Ryan Garcia refuses to be on the line, and Devin Haney doesn't have any way to jump on his line. Left hook, right? He's feints him. The left hook comes, and again, he's in his high guard, right? Rear shoulder is forward, even though sometimes he'll be in a similar position. The rear shoulder won't be there. Feints him, gets a good look at him. So definitely some good IQ in here, some good fighting and some good adjustments from Devin Haney. Now, when Ryan Garcia is circling here, moving, breaks this way, here's that big stepping jab. I know Ryan Garcia's primary concern is not to get hit with this shot while he's crossing the line and circling. But is Devin Haney in position here to fight? We all know he's not, right? So forcing Devin Haney to throw a punch like this may be actively good for him. Okay. Now, as he's circling, moving this way, when is Devin Haney going to jump on his line and throw a big right hand? Circle, right? He's missing all these opportunities to cut the ring off and score a point. Now, you only get 1 point. Like, the guy's not just going to stay there just because you cut the ring off for one beat or one moment and then let you just bang on him. Who is this guy? Like, who does he think he's fighting? Ryan Garcia with the Philly shell? Oh shit! Wait, maybe Ryan Garcia will just do that if you jump on his line and throw punches. But allowing him to kind of circle, move, not really interacting with him, not feinting him, not controlling him with probes first, not fighting off of any of his punches, not moving his head. There's just so many things that Devin Haney is not able to do because of the fact that he has to step with all his punches. And he can't really afford to sacrifice his position and blast in all the time because he's so worried that Ryan Garcia is going to hit him with something fast, something quick, right? Again, even there, stepping jab. And I do want to point out, right, Ryan Garcia's hands, kind of by his waist, kind of, right? But he had enough time here to kind of get planted to kind of interact, right? Again, that's one of those things that Devin Haney is going to maybe learn for the second fight, or can learn, to not allow uh, Ryan Garcia to get an advantage. But in that whole stretch right there, Devin Haney only found an opportunity to throw a punch like one time. He let Ryan Garcia move to every single position in the ring and still waited for him to get planted to throw a punch. Okay. Now, at some point, he does start interacting with Ryan Garcia. Okay. He does kind of realize that Ryan Garcia is not going to interact with him. Ryan Garcia is not going to get planted. He's not looking to fight him. And he does start to chase him down. But does this look like a punch that Devin Haney could defend if Ryan Garcia could predict it? Now, did he predict that the punch was coming on time? It looks like he got his guard up. It looks like he attempted to block, even though we know it's a bad block. So why isn't he countering here? Right? Again, the countering and stuff, the stuff that he practices on his own, the circling. Um, Ryan Garcia is very vulnerable here. Okay? You guys remember how skilled Sandor Martin had to be with his counter hook on Teofimo Lopez when Teofimo Lopez was jumping onto his line and throwing those right hands? He had to be so good with that counter shot. Perfect timing. You can't be scared, this and that. There's almost no danger to jumping onto Ryan Garcia's line like this. If he's not penduluming and trying to put pressure and momentum on your line, and he's moving around, we're going to see some danger, but there's just not a lot. And Devin Haney slowly, slowly, slowly started to figure that out, even though we can see that he can't, again, because he has to step with everything. He can't really chain those things together, right? Which, again, makes it more dangerous for him, right? Now, again, penduluming onto his line, that's a little bit of that Canelo, right? 1, 2, okay, but he doesn't even throw the 1, right? He's just going to pendulum, shift his way to the back foot, step with the front foot, and then throw the right hand, no guard, right? How dangerous is this, you guys? He's not guarding the line with the left hand. You could just throw a right hand right at his head because he has to step with this probe. He completely tells on himself jumping on the line to throw this shot. And again, this guy is not Bektamir, right? You guys remember Bektamir tried to jump onto Gabriel Rosado's line with a 1-2, bop, bop. And that guy is a murderous puncher. That guy is scary. Gabriel Rosado, no, not trying to talk shit about that guy, but average fighter. It's a random average dude. He's not really like, he's like, over the years, he's, become more strong, more athletic, more dangerous. He definitely didn't used to be nearly as athletic as he is now, so he's definitely grown a ton. But for all intents and purposes, average guy. And he gets a KO win over Bektamir. And Devin Haney doesn't punch like Bektamir. He's not as dangerous as Bektamir. He's fast, right? That wasn't particularly fast, though, right? Not particularly dangerous, explosive. But anyway, and that's one of those things again that Ryan Garcia needs his coach to see, right? Hey, after he throws any fucking punch, he's not planted. He doesn't have even good defense. Just throw any counter. I get him. Now, this was one of the traps that Ryan Garcia kind of did have as he's circling here. Boom, feints him here, circling. He's gonna pendulum, throw a 1-2, and he's kind of waiting for Ryan Garcia to get to the front foot, right? Front foot. Boom. And now he did this from the back foot and kind of exploded to the front foot with the right hand. And if we watch Devin Haney's footwork, front foot, pendulum, back foot, front foot, right? And he's going to try to time him penduluming on his line. And it's actually like a pretty cool trap, right? Pretty cool trap circling. There's so much more that he could have done, um, off of this or whatever. There's so many more circling traps, but this was the only one that Ryan Garcia really tried to enact while Devin Haney kind of followed him around, right? And again, um, most of the stuff that Ryan Garcia had success with was actually success based off of the coming forward, right? His circling and stuff, all this stuff, mostly bad. Now again, moving around, circling, watch their heads. He's going to try to get planted, and as he gets to the line, Devin Haney tries to meet him with the right hand over the top. Now he gets planted, and if we watch Ryan Garcia, his lead hand is kind of sticking out here, right? I'm not sure if that means that Ryan Garcia was trying to put some pressure. He's going to start trying to come forward, or if he was just going to get planted to try to work on some, whatever, trying to find a left hook, see if he can get to the front foot, blah blah blah. But Devin Haney's starting to get more comfortable attacking Ryan Garcia before he gets planted, throwing a random shot. Now, shoulder roll bullshit. This means that he's not going to guard the line with the left hand. He never guards the line with the right hand. He's not going to throw any punches. Devin Haney feints him, gets him into this position. And again, he can't really take advantage, right? But again, Ryan Garcia, when he puts himself in that guard, is not looking to throw any punches. And I do think that Devin Haney kind of picked up on this eventually, and it allowed him to kind of have a little bit more offense. Now, again, left hook, he's ready to throw it. Devin Haney's feinting with the jab, right? And gets under the hook here. Very, very, very good job. Again, recognizing that he's going to be able to touch the guard here, and then he has to get under the counter. Now, Ryan Garcia employed a little bit of those slick fighter tactics, ducking below the waist and then holding here. And even though Devin Haney got Ryan Garcia to throw the hook, he comes up, he's not able to take advantage of it, right? For so many reasons, right? Number one, Devin Haney's footwork sucks, right? He's got to get planted himself before he can get into position to land a hard shot. His footwork is absolutely terrible. Um, anyway, there's a bunch of reasons. We'll talk about some more stuff. We got so many clips to go. Shoulder roll. Philly shell. No defense. Just jumps onto his line and throws a punch. And again, is Ryan Garcia not aware that Devin Haney can't defend that? And again, he's not very savvy on his defense, even though he's not getting hit, right? If Devin Haney throws those kinds of punches at any other fighter on the planet, right? Now, again, guarding the line with that little post out there, there's no danger, just jumps on his line. Why is it that Devin Haney winds up grabbing him by the waist? This guy is literally not even trying to defend himself. Not even a little bit. And Devin Haney still winds up grabbing him. Again, so many missed opportunities for punches. Even if you're just going to let him out, even if you're not looking to fight him or punch him or score anymore, don't put yourself here. Stay away from him. Let the crowd boo him for being a dumbass and sitting in this position if you don't want to fight him. Make him come out and fight you. But Devin Haney constantly, for whatever reason, winding up grabbing a guy who doesn't even want to fight, who can't even defend his own line in this position. Is he square? Is he not square? Not square. Doesn't try to defend the line with the hook. Moves out of that position, even though he tried to present that he was trying to get square to throw the left hook. Puts himself in a position. He's not looking to throw any punches, and Devin Haney is able to just wail on him. Now, again, normally when you get into a position like this with a guy who doesn't want to fight, usually you're able to put him out of his misery. Right? How many times you ever see you get a guy in sparring like this and you're just not like, okay, two, three, two, 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 three, right? And you just win. The guy quits or he crumbles. He falls and he hits the ground. But all you clowns right out there wanted to say that, oh, he won Lomachenko because he punched him in the on the left side of the hip like 60 times in literally the worst scoring position punch in boxing. Literally the least amount of value that you could possibly get. It's literally worse than a jab to the face. You're going to be hitting a guy and pounding on what? His hip? Are you kidding me? Come on. What a joke. And Devin Haney's not a hard puncher. Come on, it's like a little kid. I know he's strong. I know. But he's not a hard puncher when he's chaining shit together, for sure. For sure. Notice, not able to throw twos and threes there. Not able to fight off of any of those punches. No defense, just allows him to get on the line. Throws a 2-3, 2-3, right? And again, how do you wind up grabbing and holding a guy who's not even trying to fight? He's not even trying to. He's not even trying. And Devin Haney winds up bodied up with him, with his arms wrapped around him. It's unbelievable, you guys. Unbelievable. The guy is like begging to quit, right? Isn't that what that is? Isn't that what Devin Haney said was going to happen? Now, I know that's not what's really happening, right? But he has no answer. He can't sit on the front foot because Devin Haney is going to blast him, but he's going to move to the back foot and slowly inch his way in and then grab you. And it's not even a good grab. He's not even good at the skill of ducking below the waist and grabbing the guy by the waist. He's not even good at it. Left hook. Left hook. Whew. A little bit of left hook right there. And again, Devin Haney, when he's ready to throw the left hook, when he's ready to interact with his hand, Devin Haney going to the body, trying to get around that shot. Again, very, very clever. Oh, gets chased a little bit here. Very, very bad news for Devin Haney. Don't get chased, Devin Haney. But just real quick, jumps on his line. Devin Haney jumps on his line, right? Boom. And look at him, chasing him, hits him with a shot. Chase him, hits him with a shot. Devin Haney's not really in a position to defend himself. The only thing that Ryan Garcia has to worry about is Devin Haney getting close enough to grab him, which is illegal. It's illegal. It's never okay. Not even if you just got punched in the face, not after you just ducked below the waist, not if you just threw a punch, not if ever. It's never legal for you to put your arms around your opponent's body ever for any reason. Especially if you're boxing. uh, Decent guard here, right? Now, very interesting. If you look at Ryan Garcia's shoulders, again, the rear shoulder is so far back. He's not really looking, right? He's looking to present that he's going to attack the line here, but he's not really in position. Again, these very, very small details. And again, he goes to the body just in case. Okay, guard up. Now, you can see that he kind of brings his rear shoulder much more forward this time. Ooh, here you go. Rear shoulder forward, down, leaping hook. Okay. Now, if you take a look at Haney's guard, okay, it's really important to remember that Ryan Garcia is getting outboxed here. This whole fight, he's getting outboxed. And the only time that he's not really getting outboxed is when he's like, okay, well, I'm going to force him to make a move. And what does Devin Haney do? What is his block for? What is this guard? What is this guard for? Straight punches, right? So he puts up a straight punch guard, eats a hook. Okay, gets him with a shot, think it might hurt him a little bit. He's like, okay, that sucked. Gets his guard up. Now he's got his hand on the right side of his face. Goes around the guard anyway. Okay, his hand, like, still a bad guard for it. His head is like straight up in the air. He doesn't know what to do with his hands. He doesn't know how to. But Ryan Garcia is not outboxing him. Like, kinda. Like, he's throwing a really fast shot. Ryan Garcia is, Devin Haney's making a decision. I think this one he's predicting it's going to be a hook and not a jab this time. I think last time he thought it was going to be a jab because most of the time when Ryan Garcia gets on the line the first time it's going to be a jab. But he does a hook. And now it's the third one. He's going to throw another hook. And Devin Haney's like, nah, I'm going to duck and roll and get under this. So those other two didn't work. right? They didn't prevent that shot at all. Okay. Um, and again, it's just really important because again, that was the only time that he actually didn't get hit is when he moved his head. Okay. And again, that's not a thing that Devin Haney does very often. Okay. Now, another defensive flaw, right? Doesn't move his head very often, doesn't always have his hands up. Here comes the first punch here. Boom, he puts his hands up, but it's not good enough, and the shot winds up kind of coming right through his guard here. Maybe he does block that one. Now, he's going to get on the line here, feint him. 1, 2. Now, is he interacting with the 1? Boom, no. One of the few times I think that Ryan Garcia kind of lands the first punch, but he throws this shot. Is this good defense from Devin Haney? Is he moving his head? Is he this? Is he that? The 2 hits him as well. Now he's ducked. He finally moved his head and got under the 3. But one of the things that Devin Haney struggles with is if you look at his feet, he can't really move his head because his head can only be under his feet, basically. That's where his line is. And because his feet are in a line, the same line in relation to his opponent and his punches, he can't move his head away. There's nowhere. Now, when he changes and he ducks, he gets under the hook, right? So at least he changes his position there. But again, here's the last look here. Devin Haney pendulums here, gets to the front foot. Ryan Garcia jabs at him. Again, no head movement. Right, Devin Haney's about to plant his front foot. And look at all his line here. Okay, this is like one of the most clear the clear looks at it, but you can see that his head, right, and his shoulders, they're all on this blade, right? They're all in the same plane. And when that last punch comes, right, because it was a jab, and Devin Haney doesn't move his head. He doesn't know where his head's supposed to go to get away from a hook. He doesn't know where his head's supposed to go to get away from a jab. He doesn't really know how to catch jabs that well. He doesn't know how to block right hands. His actual defense is really, really, really bad. It's just that most of the time he's really fast and people can't catch him. And also, like Ryan Garcia, because he's so fast and explosive, when he throws a single punch and he steps with it and he jumps in the air and he catches you and he smacks you in the face, you don't fucking know he can't hit you with another punch, that he's not ready. You're so busy seeing stars for that beat and then trying to get another look at the line to see where he's at that you don't realize that he's resetting, that he's not ready to punch you. You're just waiting for the next punch because it's a skill that almost every fighter has. Oh, I could throw one too. Except for Devin Haney. Right? He's not really the kind of guy that chains any punches together. None of them. Okay, it's fascinating. It's so weird. But his defense is shit. You know, he's just usually fast and strong, and you know he has a good sense of where the line is, which helps him a lot. Now again, check out Ryan Garcia's guard. Right, his hand is on the inside of his body, gets feinted here, turns away, blah blah blah, gives up all the position. For whatever reason, Devin Haney is just going to stand here, grab him, and wrap his arms. Notice again, what is it that Ryan Garcia does when he gets his opponent in this position? Class? That's right. He beats the shit out of them. He's throwing massive haymakers and flurries. Haney is trying to hold the guy? Come on. Okay. Now, very dangerous on the inside to be this close to Ryan Garcia. And again, he went from scoring to holding to getting punched in the head on the inside here. Right? Why? I don't know. But that was actively bad for him. Shoulder roll defense, that means no punches are coming. Just walks onto the line, throws a 2. Throws a 3. Throws a 3. Why is he getting this close to being tied up? How? How? How does he wind up a guy who's not even trying to fight? And again, is this, number one, is this good boxing? Right? And again, I knew this was going to happen in the fight too when I predicted it. And I knew that Devin Haney was not going to be able to take advantage of it because it's literally cheating. Devin Haney's not the kind of guy that's going to be able to knock a guy out from this position, right? But also, like once the guy initiates a hold, right, it's really hard to get any value, right? It's so funny to see the shoe on the other foot for this fight. And I do want to point out, by the way, if you guys want to talk corruption real quick, we're going to take a quick break on the film study real quick. How nuts was it that they had the ref ready to say, "Don't turn your back, don't turn your back, don't turn your back." They had highlights of Ryan Garcia turning his back, but no highlights of Devin Haney ducking below the waist, no highlights of him grabbing, no highlights of him holding. Ryan Garcia got called for holding. Devin Haney held more than he did, for sure. Refused to let go. But they literally had the ref set up. They had the clip set up. They had the warning set up. Like, Ryan Garcia was supposed to lose here. Like, hands down, you know? Anyway, most people don't know shit about boxing. That's why they thought Ryan Garcia was going to lose. And they thought that for whatever reason, Devin Haney, a guy that has no head movement, a guy that can't cut off the ring, a guy that uh, has no defense, and a guy that has a step with every one of his punches, he was going to be able to beat a guy that could throw. They thought that guy was going to be able to beat Manny Pacquiao, right? A guy that just throws a bunch of fucking fast punches, really, really fast and hard, right? They thought a guy with no head movement was going to be able to beat that guy. Now, finally finding an opportunity to cut the ring off and throw this right hand here. And again, look at Devin Haney after he throws this shot. Is he ready to follow up? Can he throw a leaping shot? Can he A, B, C? No, no, no. Gets him on the ropes. Ryan Garcia's left hand is out. He's looking to interact. Now he's looking to cower. And Devin Haney's able to throw this shot here, get onto his line. And again, the guy is not even trying to fight back. He's not even trying to fight back. And somehow, he winds up getting his arms around Devin Haney. It's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Same position, wrapping his arms around some guy who doesn't want to fight, spoiling his own opportunities to win, right? And again, when Devin Haney would get out of position, and he would be out of position for less than Ryan Garcia was out of position, Ryan Garcia would be punching him in the face and knocking him down. Ryan Garcia, again, and Devin Haney, not really able to make him pay. Finally cutting the ring off, throwing a 1-2, and again, having the step with it. Finally cut the ring off. How did he wind up here? Being held and grabbed again. Chasing him around. Okay, now again, feinting him. He's in his high guard here. Oh, I don't want to fight him feint. Push him around. He tries to cut the ring off. And again, look at how sloppy it is. And then still winds up holding and clinching for no reason. Which again, if Ryan Garcia is going to come out at the beginning of every round and just dump punches on you and beat your ass and start winning the round, you can't really afford to start holding and spoiling any opportunity while he rests. He already threw his punches for the round. He's already winning. And you're going to hold and spoil your own opportunity to win the fight. Whoops. Okay, yeah, that's the right clip. Okay. High guard. Does he want to fight? Does he want to fight? Front foot. Good. Moving to the back, and you can see Ryan Garcia is already kind of giving up a little bit of space as Haney pendulums on him while he's in this position, right? He's in this position. Haney is penduluming on him. Feint. Back foot. Feint. Right? And exploding. And again, Ryan Garcia just doesn't have the courage. Gives up the position. Doesn't counter at all. And again, this is really good knowledge for Haney to have against Ryan Garcia for the future. Whoops. Now, he does that thing after he pounds on him, scores a bunch of points, tries to grab him. Look at the frame from Ryan Garcia. and then he gets hurt. He gets hit and hurt and hit with a hard punch. Again, the grabbing and the holding after the sequences, actively bad for Devin Haney. It's actively bad for him to get that close to him. Uh-oh, no punches coming. So starting to warm up, starting to make some adjustments, starting to get a couple of more left hands instead of right hands to the body. And then following it up into Ryan Garcia throws the first probe, right? And then Devin Haney countering it. And now he's going to, okay, fuck that. I'm going to get back into my rhythm. The first probe comes out, counters him. Now, again, no counters from Ryan Garcia. He's not really fighting off that. He's just trying to get into that rhythm to throw that left hook and keep that pressure, get Devin Haney reacting to that shot so he can smack him with the hook when he kind of pulls away. But if Devin Haney's kind of coming forward and fighting him on that first probe, he's not giving him that opportunity. Now, again, that first little probe comes out, and he knows, oh, it's probably not a punch. Devin Haney looking to attack him, right? Now, it kind of backfires him here, punches him in the face. He pendulums away. And this is another one of those moves that Ryan Garcia is pretty good with. That left hook on the way back. He does this in a lot of his other fights where he's getting chased, where he actually throws jabs. Now, this is so weird because, to be honest, Ryan Garcia does normally throw a lot of fast stepping jabs too, right? So it was really interesting in this fight to see that he didn't really throw a lot of stepping jabs and hard stepping jabs. He did a lot more of that little post. I want to call it a post feint, right? It's not even really an attack. It's not really like a great control. Like it's mostly, I want to say, bad. You know, um, but this is one of those tricks that he has, right? He would throw a jab at a guy, boom, and the guy would try to counter it and follow him back, and he would throw a hook and follow them back. I can't remember because I did so much film study, but I do remember this being one of those moves, and it's also one of those ones that's mildly still practiced on the minutes, right? So I thought it was really interesting, but he did do a good job of taking away his momentum and pushing him off the line here, right? Boom. He just made a mistake, bah, of following him and following it up. And again, Ryan Garcia is so quick with that shot, kind of smacks him, and I think he hurts him and drops him off the back of that sequence. Now again, finally leaving him a little bit of space, controls him first, puts him in a bad position, right hand, left hand to the body. Is he going to reset? Is he going to hold? What's he going to do? Why is Devin Haney getting closer? Why? Why? Why is he waiting? Why hasn't he punched? Why hasn't he? Boom. A little bit of rope-a-dope right there. And Ryan Garcia comes out of the shell, hits him with an uppercut because Devin Haney's standing there like a retard. This is one of. Could you imagine standing this close to a guy that you didn't hurt him? You didn't hurt him. Now, again, whenever I make a video about a guy doing this, everyone says I'm a hater, this and that. It's part of boxing. Well, here he is doing it for more than one beat. He's just holding it. There's no legal targets. What does everybody think? What did Ryan Garcia say at the end of the fight? Do you guys remember what he said? Wow, I don't know. I was just doing whatever I could not to get hit. This is not boxing. This is just whatever you can do to not get hit. Ducking below the waist is not boxing. It's just whatever you can do to not get hit. Grabbing your opponent by the waist is not boxing. It's just whatever you can do to not get hit. But it's funny because if Ryan Garcia didn't have punching power, it would have been 12 rounds of one guy throws punches at the other guy while the other guy ducks below the waist and tries to grab. And then the other guy throws punches at the other guy while that guy ducks below the waist and tries to grab. And dichotomously, both of these things wind up making for a really shitty fight. Right? Let's just imagine, even just for a moment, that Devin Haney didn't hurt Ryan Garcia. And then let's imagine Ryan Garcia didn't hurt Devin Haney. And let's imagine what kind of fight we had. How fucking shit is that fight? Isn't it terrible? Like, the only reason people are even talking about this fight, because the fight went all 12 rounds, but nobody's talking about anything that Devin Haney did except get up, right? Now, as we move on, we got a lot of clips to go over still. Again, starts countering the first probe, right? Putting more pressure on Ryan. And again, not really able to follow up on anything. Okay, very, very sloppy, right? Following him around, cut the ring off, didn't let him get there. Here comes that first probe, Ryan Garcia, and then he throws a 1-2. Look at him shift, falling forward. Both feet move, and then into a leaping shot. So much danger. And then look at him be in danger after that shot, too. Uh, I think that's the last clip. This falling into my film study for Ortiz versus Zhang, which will be coming out next week, I guess. Who knows when? I don't know. A couple days, 2 days, 3 days, whenever it's done. Actually, probably like I could finish it like in an hour. I probably will. But anyway, some decent adjustments from Haney as the fight went on. You know, it was really interesting because as Devin Haney started to figure out Ryan Garcia, he wound up in more and more danger. You know, there was he got hurt at the beginning of the fight because he wasn't super careful. He wasn't feinting and probing. I think maybe he actually thought that he could knock Ryan Garcia out in the first round. And he jumps on the line with that jab, gets caught with the real hook, and then, spends the rest of the, like a minute and a half running and ducking and holding and, you know, watching for his rhythm. And then he starts fighting off of Ryan Garcia's rhythm and his timing, watching him get to the line and starts picking him off, pushing him off the front foot, making him circle, right? Because Ryan Garcia didn't feel comfortable getting to the line and having to fight every time. Also, very, very, very high energy to do what he was doing, the way that he was fighting, the only way that he knows how to kind of come forward. You can see it even on the mitts too when he takes long breaks, right? Errol Spence on the mitts, kind of relaxed, kind of probing, kind of more like you would call them like a thudding shot, right? It's not a hard shot. It's just like they're just going through the motions, right? But Ryan Garcia on the mitts, hard and fast and explosive. He doesn't know how to kind of take it slow and actually use probes, and a lot of skills he's missing. A lot of skills. Um, but Devin Haney starts to figure it out, and he starts to get, you know, a little bit of Ryan Garcia's timing. He makes some adjustments, starts following those probes back, then starts timing them and fighting off of them. Um, and aside from the times when Ryan Garcia would just explode on the line and dump his punches, which here's the thing, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. There's no world in boxing where Ryan Garcia is just not going to be able to throw 1 2 3 1 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3, and just spam and be first. However, if Ryan Garcia or if Devin Haney can keep Ryan Garcia off of the front foot and actually interacting with him, not let him get planted, he can minimize the amount of times that Ryan Garcia feels safe doing it. And if he can, which he can't because his defense is really bad, if he can interact with some of those punches and make them less fruitful, right? Because again, it's really high energy style from Ryan Garcia. Um, Maybe Devin Haney can score enough that he could win a decision, right? Now, 115, 109, right? 115, 109. That's a pretty big gap, and Devin Haney would have to win a lot of rounds if he's going to go down 3, 4, 5 times in a fight, right? I think Ryan Garcia got credit for 3 knockdowns, but I think there was at least 5. Um, Now, All this to say, the skill level that Ryan Garcia displayed to beat Devin Haney, pretty low in terms of IQ. Very, very low IQ. He just jumped on the line, threw as many fast punches as he could, and he would hurt him. He had one little pattern that he practiced on the mitts, and he's not getting lucky, right? There's just an inevitableness. You're going to get hit when you fight. It happens, right? It just sucks for Devin Haney that Devin Haney's punching power sucks and Ryan Garcia's is way better because, on average, Devin Haney won more sequences. Devin Haney had a better IQ. Devin Haney could more safely engage with Ryan Garcia through more moments of the fight. However, when Ryan Garcia would just come forward and throw punches and just basically do anything, Devin Haney's absolute lack of head movement and defense would allow him or cause him to just get smashed and hurt. And Devin Haney got hurt in at least 10 of the rounds. Like every round, right? Like I want to say every round he got hurt. And like I think almost every round it was. But it was interesting. It was interesting. I don't know if it's a good idea for Devin Haney to take the rematch because like I said, as Devin Haney figured Ryan Garcia out more and more, it also only just causes Ryan Garcia to be more of a wild animal, to throw more wild punches and just try to keep Devin Haney off of him, right? If he's just losing anyway, right? Because Devin Haney can't stop him. He's not really. We saw that. We saw that clearly that Devin Haney is not knocking Ryan Garcia out, right? Um, but yeah, it's interesting because it just once he figured him out, it just caused him to get hit more often and more cleanly. So where does Devin Haney go from here? Because again, it does look like he had the better IQ, and it won't take him as long to figure Ryan Garcia out next time, right? But Ryan Garcia is most dangerous when he has the most amount of energy, when he's fresh. And you still have to fight that fresh Ryan Garcia again. And you have to fight him with bad defense. So if Devin Haney can't get any better defense, I think that a rematch is a mistake. I do think that he's faster on the draw. His his uh, his presence on the line is he's quicker, but it's not as dominant as Ryan Garcia's. And when Ryan Garcia gets going, again, Devin Haney can't get off the line fast enough. Even when he pendulum steps, his head stays so far up in the air that Ryan Garcia just has to chase him one time and then land with a 2-3. Anyway, um, yeah, I think that it was a good fight. I think it was fun. I think that for Ryan Garcia, a rematch, an immediate rematch, makes a ton of sense. You know, if he can't make 140 and he can force he can force Devin Haney to fight him at 143, and then at least say that he'll make 143. Um, and fight him at 143. I think that's great. Maybe fight him at 147. You know, not that either of them are ranked there or should get a ranking at 147, but that's a whole other rant. Um, but yeah, for Devin Haney, I think that it's a bad idea for him to fight Ryan Garcia. I think that he needs to take a couple steps back. He needs to go to the drawing board. And here's the problem: uh, that drawing board is full of killers. There's some shitty guys that he could get on his resume. Like he could fight Sandor Martin. Okay. Um, Lomachenko's about to beat up Kambosos, and then what? What is Kambosos going to do after Lomachenko beats his ass, dominates him, makes him look like a clown? What? Is Devin Haney going to say, well, okay, I'll fight Kambosos for a third time? And they'll fight at what, 140 this time? Right? Let's do it again, mate. Yeah, I'll call out Devin Haney. He's on the loss. I'm on the loss. Eh? Stupid. But yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a safe plot for Devin Haney, um, but that requires learning real defense. Because again, if he had some real defense and he could really interact with Ryan Garcia in a meaningful way when he throws even just two punches, uh, I think he would probably almost easily beat Ryan Garcia if he could just interact with a few punches. Because again, he picks up on all the patterns. He was able to read Garcia when Garcia was trying to throw punches, when he was not trying to throw punches. Um, there wasn't a lot of stuff in the fight that Ryan Garcia could really do. He even figured out toward the end that he could just start leaping onto his line when he was circling and try to score a point, even though he sucks at it. So anyway, um, yeah, a little rambling. Um, yeah, I think it's a bad move for Haney. I think it's a bad move for Haney. Um, and I think that if he wants to get better, he should check out my Patreon, just like all of you guys. It's 7-day free trial for film studies, and $10 to sign up, and $10 a month after that. Thousands of film studies from all the fights, all the places like boxing gems and hidden gem and uh, all those people, all those fake film study artists that get their knowledge from my channel. They try to change my keywords, they try to change a few things, but they're using the same basic theory, my made up theory that I created. All the stuff in this video is original. All the theory, all of the ideas are mine. They just regurgitate them. If you want to see all the film studies that they use to produce their content, check out the Fouts Boxing Patreon. And also for fighters, for guys who are here because they want to be a world champion, they think A, B, C, or D. Number one, um, the kind of stuff that I talk about um, on YouTube, it's different when you try to learn how it really works in person, when it really try how it works at the highest level. And no matter how many film studies, no matter how many this, no matter how many that, you're not going to figure it out yourself. You're going to need someone to help you. So check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System if you want to learn yourself. It has like 40 hours worth of content, um, teaching people to fight, teaching my students all the things that Ryan Garcia is trying to learn, but better. Teach you real punching power, teach you the root of it, teach you the mechanics, teach you what to do with every single part of your body to generate, not only generate power, but also teach you how to increase your punching power so that you can become a real power puncher. Okay. Um, but not only that, there's more. Because I'm the only person on the planet to actually understand how punching power truly works and how to generate punching power and how to teach anybody else. I'm also the only person on the planet that has an actual combat system designed to take advantage of these body mechanics in the most opportune way. Okay, so you're not just going to learn how to throw your best punch. You're not just going to learn how to improve the power of your best punch. You're also going to learn how to get on the line and hit your opponent in the face with your goddamn best punch. Okay, so check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. Now, if you guys want to learn from me personally, um, you want someone to take a look at your shadow boxing, your heavy bag work, your double in bag work, your speed bag work, your double in. Did I say double in bag work? Your sparring. Okay, and you want someone to teach you how to not make the mistakes that Devin Haney's making, how to make the small adjustments to turn him into a great fighter. If you want to know how those work, if you want to know how Ryan Garcia can improve, and you want me to teach you how to become those fighters, you want to check out my Patreon. It's $50 to sign up, $50 a month. You will not find anyone as creative or smart or with nearly the understanding of combat sports or boxing as I do. Okay, so check it out. Um, and be prepared to work hard. Okay, if you join my Patreon and you're not ready to send in videos, not only are you wasting my time, but you're wasting yours. Okay, so get your videos together, sign up, and be prepared to work hard. Okay? If you join my Patreon, you're not just going to join it and say, oh, well, I joined and, I didn't really grow. I didn't really this. I didn't really. No. You're going to send in video. You're going to work hard. You're going to listen and you're going to improve. Otherwise, you're not going to get to say that you learned from me. Okay? Because everyone who learns from me gets better. Everyone who learns from me gets stronger, gets faster, hits harder, understands more about boxing, and very quickly. Okay? All right. Like, comment, and subscribe or something like that later.